What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cash Money MMA. Today I will be breaking down UFC 307 Pereira versus Rountree Jr. Now, this fight card is going to be pretty exciting. I think there's some great matchups on this card. I can't wait to break this down for you. I'm just going to break down some of my favorite fights on the card. Not going to break down every single fight, but I'm just going to give you guys some of my key picks for this card as well. And before we get started, I want to go ahead and play a clip for you guys from the Pound for Pound podcast. Now, Khalil Rountree is being doubted by a lot of people. A lot of people are saying that he's going to lose to Alex Pereira, but I think that Kamaru Usman makes some good points, and I also agree as to why I believe that Khalil Rountree is going to pull off that upset against Alex Pereira. So let's go ahead and take a look and hear what they had to say.
I'm gonna shock everybody here. I think you're wrong. What you saying? Everyone just stands and strikes with him, and they lose. I think you're wrong. I think Khalil Rountree shocks the world.
Knocks him out.
Shocks the world. I think
Okay, knocks him out.
we are in a time right now that we have look at
Utah's crazy. Utah's crazy.
Yes,
You're right.
Yes, Utah.
You're right.
Crazy things happen in Utah. And look at our
Kamaru Usman gets knocked out by Leon Edwards in Utah, and that's the point I wanted to make as well. Utah is known for upset city, so everybody's picking Alex Pereira. I know Alex Pereira is a golden boy right now. I know everybody's very big on Alex Pereira. He's going to probably be the fighter of the year if he gets out of this one right here. So a lot of people are Poatan fans. However, you guys got to understand the sport of MMA. It's never guaranteed. We have 6 new champions this year. We have a lot of fighters that we thought were going to win their fights and they end up losing. That's just how the nature of the sport goes. Anything can happen. And I'm not going to just pick Khalil based off of, that assumption. I really believe that Khalil Rountree is more dangerous than people are giving him credit for. He's been working on his game. He's been on a win streak. I know he's had, maybe a couple performances here and there that make people doubt him, like the one against Dustin Jacoby and things like that. But I feel like, every fight is different. Styles make matchups. Khalil Rountree, he's a southpaw with that Muay Thai style. And I'm going to agree with Kamaru Usman. I want to go with Khalil Rountree here. Let's hear what they had to say as well.
Right now. So I think Khalil Rountree is extremely explosive, extremely powerful. His Muay Thai is incredible. When he's launching them, he gonna find your face. That the problem is his pacing. When Khalil lets go, he lets everything go. And how is he going to do in round 3, 4, and 5 if the fight somehow gets there? That's my only concern. But in those first 2 rounds, I'm telling you right now, Khalil Rountree is as dangerous as anybody that Alex Pereira has fought.
I'm just going to go ahead and pause it right there. So, guys, I 100% agree with Kamaru Usman. Khalil Rountree is extremely dangerous, guys. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does. I know that Pereira is the best striker in MMA and that it's pretty much, like Henry Cejudo was saying earlier in the podcast, it's pretty much foolish for anybody to try to strike with this guy. But I honestly don't believe that is the case with Khalil Rountree. I feel like he's not going to shoot any takedowns on him. I think that he's going to use all of his energy purely to try to knock out Alex Pereira, and his best chance of knocking him out, like Usman was saying, is in those first and second rounds. If Khalil Rountree is able to put the pressure on Pereira and just not be scared, come out with that southpaw and that Muay Thai style and just explode. You have to explode against Pereira. Israel Adesanya showed you the way to knock him out is that you got to catch him from the top, because Alex Pereira likes to keep his hands high, which is, a good defensive strategy, but he does leave his chin open. If you are able to explode and get through that guard, you can land a free shot on him, and if you land on his chin, it is very possible of knocking out Alex Pereira. A lot of people don't want to admit that, but Pereira's chin, is just, he's human at the end of the day. Just like Ngannou got knocked out, just like he got knocked out. It's very possible. In MMA, with those 4-ounce gloves and that amount of power that Khalil Rountree is carrying, he's able to really knock out his opponents. So I just feel like if he's able to just put the pressure on Pereira, not shy away from those exchanges, he will be able to land a big shot. And I could see maybe like an overhand right or a right hook landing on Pereira's chin, just like Adesanya did. So I'm going to go with the upset. I know a lot of people aren't going to like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but I'm going to go with Khalil Rountree Jr. Upset City, Salt Lake City. I got him winning. Next, we got Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena. I'm going to keep this simple, guys. I'm going to go with Juliana Pena. Personally, I just like her more as a entertainer. She's like a little bit more entertaining in terms of her previous couple fights with Amanda Nunes, and then also she likes to talk a lot of trash. It would be a great matchup for her and Kayla Harrison to go at it in the future. Raquel Pennington is probably the most boring champion that we have currently in the UFC. They have similar styles, and I wouldn't be shocked if Pennington somehow pulls this off. But at the end of the day, I feel like Juliana Pena, she has really good grappling. That's her bread and butter. She was, her boxing looks ugly. It's like one of the worst looking boxings I've ever seen in MMA. However, she was able to beat the GO of her division and the GO of women MMA, Amanda Nunes, with that sloppy boxing. So I wouldn't be shocked if she lands a couple of peppering shots, shoots a takedown and gets it, and takes down Raquel Pennington and makes it like a dirty fight. Next, we got Jose Aldo, the legend. Jose Aldo going up against Mario Bautista. It looks like the UFC is trying to do everything they can to get Jose Aldo a loss on his way out of the UFC. Now, Jose Aldo, if he wins here, he could be close to a title. I'm not gonna lie. You could say that he's due for a title eliminator. Maybe him and Sean O'Malley next year could fight. Things like that. However, I do believe that he's trying to fight out his contract, and that's why the UFC is giving him these young, hungry killers, because basically, they know that if he leaves the UFC, they're not going to be able to make any money off of him. And the best way to make money off of an exiting fighter is killing him off by giving a young up-and-comer that opportunity. So they gave him, Jonathan Martinez, and he was able to dismantle him. Jose Aldo looked very impressive in that matchup, and now they're going to give him another young, hungry killer in Mario Bautista. Now, Mario Bautista isn't like a household name. A lot of people aren't familiar with his game. He has pretty good grappling and pretty good striking. I think he's a well-rounded fighter. However, I'm going to go with Jose Aldo simply because, his takedown defense is incredible. He has 91% takedown defense. And I think in order for Mario Bautista to win this fight, he's going to have to try to take down Jose Aldo. And I just don't see that happening. And then if you're talking about in terms of striking, Jose Aldo to me is definitely the better striker. He's able to land a lot of shots, with nice, clean, crisp boxing combination. His defense is pretty solid as well. He keeps his hands up high, protects himself pretty well. Unless you got nasty knockout power, it's very hard to beat someone like Jose Aldo on the feet. So I'm just going to rock with him. That last one against Jonathan Martinez was very impressive to me. And then next we got Kayla Harrison versus Caitlin Vieira. Now I'm going to go with Kayla Harrison simply because, man, look at her. She's jacked. She looks like the female Brock Lesnar. She's coming out here, smashing her opponents, destroyed Holly Holm. And I feel like it's going to be a similar situation against Caitlin Vieira. Now, Kayla Harrison, she isn't the best striker, so if that's the goal, is to keep it on the feet with her. A lot of people could be able to beat her. However, if she's able to take you down, she just has so much power and so much strength, you're just not going to be able to get up that entire round, and she's going to force you to get into submission positions where she can latch up something, because a lot of people do struggle with her strength advantage. So I got Kayla Harrison winning, and like I said, if she wins, that's going to be an exciting matchup between her and Juliana Pena, just because I feel like both of them are cocky. They talk a little bit of trash, and that's going to maybe make the women's division a lot more exciting. Next, we got the last fight on the main card. We got Kevin Holland versus Roman Dolidze. Guys, I'm wanting to lean towards Kevin Holland, but I just don't know how much I trust him. Roman Dolidze, he did beat Anthony Lionheart-Smith. He's a really solid grappler. Could easily fight at 205, but he's here at middleweight, and at middleweight, he is pretty strong and dangerous as well. I'm gonna lean towards Kevin Holland, guys, but honestly, this fight could easily go Roman Dolidze's way. I just want to trust that Kevin Holland has been working, on his game. He's been quiet. I know he lost to Michael Venom Page. A lot of people are doubting him, but I feel like as long as you're not like a weird striker like that, he'll be able to maintain good striking range. He has good knockout power, and if he's able to land a clean shot, I could see him maybe hurting or wobbling Roman Dolidze in that fight. Then next, we got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. Very shocked this fight isn't on the main card, but, it is what it is. I feel like Wonderboy, this could be his potential last fight in the UFC, so we could see him try to give it his all here. But I'm going to rock with Joaquin Buckley simply because I feel like everybody knows the path to beat Wonderboy Thompson. You just kind of got to hold him down and make sure he doesn't get up. A lot of opponents are able to do that to him. In his last fight, he lost to Shavkat Rakhmanovic. He got submitted. Joaquin Buckley, he's on a roll. He did face a couple good grapplers as well. He's very explosive. He's wild. But my whole thing with Buckley is he could get knocked out simply because that wildness and that craziness that he fights with, it does leave a lot of openings. He has been knocked out before a few times. Wonderboy, on the other hand, is a very accurate striker. Even though he's older, he's still one of the more dangerous strikers in the UFC. So I'm going to go with Buckley, but honestly, I could see Wonderboy as well pulling this off, with some nasty kicks. If Buckley doesn't stay in that range, it'll be very difficult for Wonderboy to get that off. So I'm going to rock with Buckley here. And then next, I wanted to look at Ryan Spann versus Ovince St. Preux. Now, this is an easy one. I think Ryan Spann should win this one. It's kind of embarrassing that this guy's career hasn't panned out that well, given that his size and that frame. It looks like he has all the tools physically. It's just like, that fight IQ isn't there. He kind of reminds me of the black version of Johnny Walker. He's a little chinny, a little wild, but, very dangerous, very explosive athlete. Could easily look like a football player or basketball player. And then, we got Ovince St. Preux on the other hand. He's a big athletic guy as well, but he is getting older. He does fight very slow. I don't like the pace of Ovince St. Preux, especially as he's getting older. He's kind of being more patient, which could work in some cases. He is coming off a win, but at the end of the day, he's just too slow for my liking. I think that in order to beat someone like Ryan Spann, you're going to have to try to knock him out and bring the fight to him as well. And I just don't think Ovince St. Preux has that left in the tank, and this probably will be his last fight in the UFC. Now, those are my picks for the card. Guys, those are just some of the best fights on the card, I believe. It's going to be an exciting fight between Khalil and Pereira. Please let me know in the comments below who you guys having. Do you guys think me and Usman are delusional? Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.